Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Smequle, and in today's video we're going to be finding out what would happen if we took the 10 greatest players in NBA history and put them on today's 10 worst teams. So how we chose the 10 best players is we went over into the all players list and chose the 10 highest rated players in the game that aren't currently in the NBA. For the 10 worst teams, I just chose who I thought were the 10 worst teams. So if you disagree with a few things, just leave your comment down below. But for the most part, I did choose some of the worst teams in the NBA. They don't have any star players. Everybody on their lineup is, in terms of the game, are like 80 overall and lower. There's nobody really over an 82. So starting off the list, though, I'm just going to go through all the teams. First off is the Chicago Bulls. So I think the Bulls will be a lot better this year. They got Lauri Markkanen, Jabari Parker, and Zach LaVine. But in terms of the game, they're still not too good. So we got Bill Russell on the team, who is actually the 10th highest overall player, I believe, in this. I might be wrong on that. Next up, though, we got the Los Angeles Clippers. Of course, the Clippers used to be a really good team, and then they lost Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin, but now they got Tim Duncan on. And I actually chose to switch Tobias Harris to a small forward, which actually makes him a lot better overall in general. Our next team is the Memphis Grizzlies, who now have a Larry Bird on their team, as well as Marc Gasol, Mike Conley. I mean, their team doesn't look too bad in terms of the roster, but they perform very poorly. So our next team is the Atlanta Hawks, who are probably the worst overall rated team in the game. So we ended up giving them Michael Jordan to make the best improvement possible. Our next team is the Charlotte Hornets, who we gave Hakeem Olajuwon, a 96 overall player. So now they have Kemba Walker and Hakeem, and Kemba is really their only other player on this team. Our next team is the Sacramento Kings, who of course lost DeMarcus Cousins not too long ago, so they're picking up another center in Shaquille O'Neal, a 97 overall. Our next team is the New York Knicks. We got the other member of that Lakers squad, Kobe Bryant, on the Knicks. I think the Knicks will be very good with the Porzingis and Kobe. That's a really good matchup right there. The next team is the Orlando Magic, and of course I had to put Magic Johnson on the team since they got the same name. So we got Magic Johnson and Aaron Gordon, as well as Vucevic on the Magic starting for them. Then we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Brooklyn Nets. So we got D'Angelo Russell and Kareem there now. They got a really good center. And then finally, our last team is the Phoenix Suns, who end up getting Kevin Garnett to play that power forward position. They got the rookie DeAndre Ayton, and this Suns team is actually looking really good. They're going to be good in not too long in the actual NBA, but adding Kevin Garnett, they're super good in the game now. So now the teams are a lot more balanced, and I think a lot of these lower tier teams now have the ability to make the championship. Let's get right into a season though and find out. Okay, so we made it through the season. Stephen Curry gets MVP, which is really surprising with all the players that are in the league right now. So he averaged 30.6 points and 8.1 assists per game, almost a double-double, getting up there. Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year. He always wins it. Tyreke Evans always wins the six-man. Kevin Garnett gets Defensive Player of the Year, so one of our players from the top 10 of all time. Check out his stats though, averaging a double-double, plus 2 blocks a game and 1.6 steals. Most improved goes to Ricky Rubio, and Nick Nurse of the Raptors still getting the Coach of the Year. So on our All-NBA first teams though, we got Curry, Magic Johnson, the Greek Freak, Tim Duncan, and Nikola Jokic. So only two all-time players on there. No Michael Jordan yet. Westbrook, Chris Paul, LeBron, Garnett on the second team, and Hakeem on the second team. And then here we go on the third team. We got Harden, Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, Larry Bird, and DeMarcus Cousins. So a few players we didn't actually see on those All-NBA teams. Shaq, Kobe, all weren't up there. Let's check out the standings though. I'm on the Hawks right now, which is a team Michael Jordan was on. So in the East, it's going to be the Raptors as the top team, and then the Hawks are the second best team with Michael Jordan on them. The Bucks are up next. They didn't actually get anybody. Then it's the Celtics. Then we got the Magic, who ended up getting Magic Johnson. We got the Hornets, who picked up, who did they pick up again? They picked up Hakeem Olajuwon. The Bulls, who picked up Bill Russell, and then the Pacers are the last team. The Nets barely not making it. They actually picked up Kareem, and they were 3 wins off getting into the NBA playoffs right there. Some other teams here in the West now. The Warriors still on top there. Then it's the Thunder, Rockets, and then the Suns actually end up making playoffs with Kevin Garnett. The Grizzlies with Larry Bird. Lakers didn't pick up anybody. The Jazz, and then the Clippers end up making it with Tim Duncan. So a lot of these teams do end up making playoffs now. Who didn't end up making it? If we go through the list here, the Kings and Mavericks are still terrible. The Kings with Shaq and the Mavericks with... Okay, no, the Mavericks actually didn't pick up anybody. That was the next team on my list to give somebody to, was the Dallas Mavericks. As you can see, they did the worst in the entire league. The Kings doing the second worst, even though they picked up Shaq. Just no help really there for the Sacramento Kings. I thought they would have done a lot better. But anyways, those are all the teams. Let's check out the league leaders now in terms of points per game. Curry on top there. Let's see if we got any of these all-time players on the list, and it's not looking like it. Magic Johnson with 23.2. Larry Bird. Did Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan's all the way down here. I thought he would have averaged a lot more on the Hawks. Let's check out rebounds per game. Kareem and Tim Duncan both end up getting up there, as well as Kevin Garnett in the top 5. Hakeem up there. So the center's doing very, very well. Assists, Magic Johnson just destroying the league for assists per game. He almost averaged a triple-double. 13.4 assists per game right there. And I believe that is it. For steals, we got Michael Jordan in second place, right behind Kawhi. And then for blocks, we got Bill Russell, Hakeem Olajuwon, all up there, as well as Tim Duncan at that number 4 position. Then Shaq is at number 7. Shaq with a lot worse of a season than we would have hoped from him. I mean, he's one of the highest rated overalls, too, of the all-time players. But let's just hop right into the playoffs now and see who ends up making the NBA championship here. If it's going to be an all-time team or if the Warriors are still going to win. Can they beat the Raptors? Let's find out. Okay, so we finished the first round here. The Clippers end up losing to the Warriors. The Suns end up moving on, and they pick... So the Suns move on with Kevin Garnett. Who did the Grizzlies have again? They had Larry Bird, so they end up losing to the Suns with Kevin Garnett. And that's it for in the West. So it's going to be the Suns, the only team with the all-time players on. In the East, though, we got the Magic versus Toronto. Magic ended up picking up Magic Johnson. Then we got the Hawks, who have Michael Jordan. And then the Charlotte Hornets ended up losing, and they actually picked up Hakeem Olajuwon. So only 3 teams left with these all-time players. But so far, they are doing a lot better than they normally would have. And I think they're about to... Michael Jordan gets eliminated. Magic Johnson gets eliminated. And on the Suns, who do the Suns have? I keep forgetting who they have. And Kevin Garnett for the Suns gets eliminated. So it's going to be Golden State, OKC, and Toronto, Milwaukee in the East. It's going to end up just being somebody of just a normal team that's not on the all-time players. So it's going to be Raptors and Golden State in the finals like it normally is. The Raptors starting off really strong, and the Raptors beat the Warriors. 2K loves the Raptors. They actually win like 50% of the time in these simulations. Kawhi Leonard with finals MVP, and he just put in work. He's a 96 overall. So when we put on the 10 greatest players on the 10 worst teams, they did way better. A ton of them actually ended up making playoffs. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot the Bulls also had somebody. 4, 5, 6, 7. We had like 7 of the 10 teams actually end up making playoffs, which is very, very, very impressive. But none of them were actually able to make NBA Finals or win a championship. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time.
Never in the same space that we started at. Throw the ball, I run the play like a quarterback. I've been up all night trying to make a stack, trying to get a plaque and flip a dream into a solid fact. Hustled hard for it, one day they will notice. chasing in the day.